This is something I wanted to talk about very, very much because I think it's really interesting. It's a segment on fake news. Take a look at this. Geoffrey Miller, or Primal Polly on Twitter. Yale eliminates a major introductory class on Western art from the Renaissance to the present on the ground that most famous European artists until recently were white and or male. The woke are rewriting history with extreme prejudice. We're hearing a lot about the woke today, aren't we? We are hearing a lot about the woke today. And you know, the comments are basically what you'd expect. Isn't it looking increasingly like the Soviet Union, but instead of bourgeois, it's whiteness and the patriarchy, you know. All that sort of stuff. What's worse, being white or male? Is this like you know, you get about the responses that you would expect to see. It shows the destructive nature of this slow burning revolution, unconcerned about building something better. It just tears down what came before. The Ministry of Truth. They are trying to eliminate the proud history of the European. The pattern is always anti-white. Like, so, you know, we kind of know what we're getting from here. And what this links to is a Reason article, which is right here. Yale will eliminate a beloved introductory art class for being too white, male, and Western. I want to show you guys how fake news is made, because here's the article right here. Now, here's Reason. You can publish whatever the fuck you want at Reason, okay? Free minds and free markets, all right? So this is not exactly, you know, a highly intellectual consort, you know, this bazaar of concepts that we're at right now. But enrollment has swelled for Yale University's Introductory Art History course, which covers the Renaissance to the present. That's because the school plans to eliminate the popular class after the spring. According to the Yale Daily News, the art department has decided the class might make some students uncomfortable due to the overwhelming whiteness, maleness, and straightness of the artists who comprise the Western canon. The last label may be dubious, yes, of course, because they were all gay, obviously. Indeed, the focus on Western art is problematic, course instructor Tim Barrington told the school newspaper. In its final iteration, the course will consider art in relation to questions of gender, class, race, and discuss its involvement with Western capitalism. According to the latest syllabus, art's relationship to climate change will also be a key theme. And then it goes on to criticize this, you know, so on and so forth. It has become more common in recent years for small cabals of students to rebel against liberal arts curricula that they feel are too focused on Western artists, authors, and thinkers. Students at Reed College, for instance, successfully pressured educators to disband an introductory humanities course. In that case, the activists demanded that all European texts be removed and replaced by non-European books as a form of reparation for Humanity 110's history of erasing the histories of people of color, especially black people. So I don't know anything about that particular story. But what is the narrative that is being painted here? Well, we have a tweet which talks about how the SJW woke are rewriting history to destroy the white man. And this is linking to a Reason article written by someone else talking about how some students were made uncomfortable by the overwhelming whiteness, maleness, and straightness of the artists of this class, which means it's being canceled. So this article, while not anywhere near as extreme in its rhetoric as this one, still editorializes. Yale will eliminate a beloved introductory art class for being too white, male, and Western. It's a disservice to undergrads, said one student. It still feels like there's a bit of a narrative going on here. But if we take a look at the Yale Daily News article that this Reason article was written off of, this is the original one right here. This is from Yale. This is Yale commenting on this class. Now we see more neutral language. Art History Department to scrap survey course. Here, listen to this and pay attention. Yale will stop teaching a storied introductory survey course in art history, citing the impossibility of adequately covering the entire field and its varied cultural backgrounds in one course. Decades old and once taught by famous Yale professors like Vincent Scully, Introduction to Art History, Renaissance to the Present, was once touted to be one of Yale College's quintessential classes. But this change is the latest response to students' uneasiness over an idealized Western canon, a product of overwhelmingly white, straight European and male cadre of artists. This spring, the final rendition of the course will seek to question the idea of Western art itself, a marked difference from the course's focus at its inception. Art History Department Chair and the course's instructor, Tim Barrington, told the News he plans to demonstrate that a class about the history of art does not just mean Western art. Rather, when there are so many other regions, genres, and traditions, all equally deserving of study, putting European art on a pedestal is problematic. Now, whoops! Hold on there. It seems like the only thing they're doing is shelving one course because it was meant to be an introduction to post-Renaissance art, and it couldn't possibly cover all histories and... Oh, Beringer, not Barrington. And it seems like it couldn't cover all of the subject material that it was supposed to be covering. Instead of this singular survey class, the Art History Department will soon offer a range of others, such as Art and Politics, Global Craft, the Silk Road, and Sacred Places. Beringer added that in 2 or 3 years, his department will offer a substitute class to Introduction to Art History, but the new course will be a course equal in status to the other 100-level courses, not the introduction to our discipline, claiming to be the mainstream while everything else pushed to the margins. So that was it. They had a famous class, and it was probably a great class, but the class was supposed to be teaching all post-Renaissance art in the world. Are you fucking kidding me? There's no way one class can possibly cover that, whether or not it's an intro class. It seemed really Eurocentric. And Eurocentric doesn't mean, oh, there are too many white people, we're triggered by the white people. It means that it'd be like, we'll art this, okay? It is not anti-white for you to have, you know, a pizza that you're decorating. You got the pizza, you know, and then you're trying to add the fucking pepperoni, you know, and you're adding the pepperoni over here. And you're like, there, I've done it. I have thoroughly seasoned and toppinged. Wait, did I say Japan? Did I say pizza? What did I even say? I don't know what I'm saying half the time, okay? And if you hand this over to someone, oh, the Japanese flag. Oh, okay, I get it. Okay, so I just see pizza, okay? Anyway, and then for you to hand this off to someone, and they're like, well, wait, hold on. You didn't cover shit. Like, you covered like a quarter, not even a quarter of the pizza. This is super northern slice centric. That doesn't mean you hate the northern slice. That doesn't mean you hate this particular chunk of the pizza. It just means that you didn't cover the fucking pizza properly. You need more fucking you need more pizza. And that's what this course was. It was Eurocentric. It doesn't mean white people bad. It means that it was supposed to be an intro course on all post-Enlightenment art. And it wasn't doing that. So they shelf it, and they have a bunch of different smaller courses that cover it in more detail. That's it. Simplest thing in the world. But notice the editorializing. In the original article, the one written by Yale, this change is the latest response to student uneasiness over an idealized Western canon, a product of overwhelmingly white, straight European male cadre of artists. So this is saying students are uncomfortable about the broader narrative of art history only showcasing these specific segments of people. But then this Reason.com article simplified, or one might even say modified that into some students were made uncomfortable due to the overwhelming whiteness, maleness, and straightness of the artists. Which makes it seem more like it's a bunch of, foofy, pussy hat wearing college students who are triggered when they see a white family with a white picket fence and a dog, Which is not the case at all. The Yale said it themselves. It was just not holding up the necessary prerequisites of the course. But then we get that changed over here, And then we have over here, you know, one more layer removed. Now white people are being destroyed. The woke are rewriting history with extreme prejudice. Nothing about the original article said anything about rewriting history. It said they weren't doing enough to cover history. And they wanted to pull back and focus on that more. It's a beautiful showcase of, for A, how fucking stupid people who use woke as a pejorative are, and B, you know, big brain, B, how essential it is to actually run back to the primary source if you're going to combat fake news. Because this is fake news. This is fake news right here. This is a fucking pearl-clutching bitch baby crying because they read an article that misinterpreted and highly editorialized an article that the point of which was not at all what was described in any of the two higher levels. This is how fake news is made. And all the little fucking brainlet simps, little simpletons who like this, who follow this person, psychology professor, wrote The Mating Mind, spent mate and virtue signaling, evolution, sex, sentience, freedom. I don't know who the fuck this person is, but I can tell you this pretty simply. Anybody who is capable of so thoroughly misrepresenting this original Yale article, anyone who is complicit in the cycle of disinformation should not be taken seriously in anything that they do. This person should be laughed at as they walk across the street. Their a significant other should make farting noises at them every time they sit down in a chair. Their life should be made miserable. Because it is disgusting to me that somebody who calls themselves a professor, and I don't know any of this guy's credentials, could participate in circling through disinformation like this. So anyway, yeah, just keep your mind sharp, folks. And hey, don't just be skeptical of conservatives with this process. Do this to left-leaning people as well. I can tell you, I have caught left-leaning people doing this shit before. I have caught left-leaning people doing this shit, where you editorialize a tweet, that editorializes a video, that editorializes an article, and you go back all the way to the original, and everyone's just fucking mad over nothing. Over nothing. You know? Just be careful. Be careful. Be skeptical. Always be skeptical. But make sure your skepticism is fairly distributed.